بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Today's lecture will be about how to introduce yourself. That is عنوان المحاضرة how to introduce yourself. The objective of the lecture, which is أهداف المحاضرة, develop effective communication skills for self-introduction, to create a positive first impression through verbal and non-verbal cues, tailor introductions to different contexts and audiences, structure engaging introductions with attention-grabbing openings and clear closings, also build confidence to overcome nervousness and project assurance. And the last one is to gain cultural sensitivity to navigate diverse introduction norms respectfully. مصطلحات المحاضرة, that is the terms of the lecture that you are going to use, or the keywords. We'll talk about introduction, communication, verbal, non-verbal, audience, context, structure, confidence, cultural sensitivity, first impression. All these words will be inshallah discussed in this lecture. The introduction here, مقدمة المحاضرة. Of course, now hello everybody and welcome to our first class in Advanced English Language Skills course about how to introduce yourself. Now, learning of English skills is the way of your future careers, and this is known. In this course, we are going to give you an overview of how this course is laid out to help you learn how to conduct English conversations in a satisfactory manner, how to introduce yourself, how to use the language, easily. This course is made up of 15 classes, and in English, in each class, we'll focus on a specific skills and topics that are important in communication with others and in our lives. We will therefore focus upon the most basic and fundamental expressions that are relevant to each topic. The main components of the classes are the explanatory components and speaking drills. In each class, we will present the main concepts you are going to learn, followed by a general view of the topic, ending with a relevant exemplary conversation that is made up of no more than a few sentences. We will also explain the meanings and the usage, role of each concept and show you additional example sentences at times. However, you will learn many more concepts than the ones stated at the beginning of each class. You are encouraged to look up every concept that happens to be new to you. After learning how each concept is used, you will be guided through a short speaking practice, and the class ends with a dialogue practice so that you can practice using the concepts in a more conversational format. The speaking drills are designed mainly to help you practice speaking. You will be both listen and repeat practices for each concept, and there are of course further dialogue practices so that you can practice using the concepts in different ways. As you have realized, a key aspect of our classes is that you are actively involved in the learning process throughout each class. So when you attend our classes and practice our speaking drills, do make sure that you are able to speak and participate in each class. As you advance in your classes, you will realize that the knowledge you gain in each class becomes accumulative. Accordingly, with proper attention and follow-up, you will realize that you are learning much more than you expected, as this course offers you many concepts and topics that are new to you. Thus, get ready and be prepared, hoping that this course will be useful as well as interesting to you. Now, the main themes, المحاور الرئيسية. The first theme is self-introduction. Now, to introduce yourself here, that is self-introduction, is necessary very important. That's when starting a conversation, whether in formal business environments or during casual social gatherings. The ability to present oneself confidently and appropriately sets the stage for meaningful interactions with others. In this class, we will shed light on the means of self introduction, exploring various greetings, forms of address, cultural considerations, and nonverbal cues that are necessary for both formal and informal settings of learning the language or speaking, that is to say. By learning these deviations, beginners in English conversation can navigate diverse social situations with confidence and ease. Formal self introduction, that's the second theme, self introduction, okay, in let's say formal situations. In formal settings or situations such as job interviews, meetings, or professional networking events, presentations, the manner in which one presents oneself carries significant weight. Here is a step by step guide for beginners. First is greeting. Greeting, that is saying hello, good morning, good afternoon, So begin with a polite greeting. Generally, we start with a polite greeting, such as good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, okay, followed by the appropriate title and last name, if known, the names, okay. For example, good morning, Mr. Bond, okay. Name and title, this is the first one, this is also a greeting. Of course, you start sometimes with hello, okay, and you start introduce yourself. So name and title. Now introduce yourself for the first time using your full name. For the first time, you have to use your full name, preceded by an appropriate title of applicable, if applicable. For example, my name is Emily Johnson. My name is Emily Johnson, or I am Dr. Michael Lee, okay, or my name is مثلا Ahmed, okay. So this is about to introduce your names. Education, of course, now also you have to give information about the education. State your specialization or major or fields of education, as it is important in professional networking events. For example, I hold a PhD degree in English, linguistics, and my major is language studies. This is okay, like me, for example, okay? So I hold a PhD degree. You can say I am an engineer, okay, working at, etc. So that is to talk about your education. Professional background. Professional background, to give information about your profession. That's it. Briefly mention your professional background or relevant experience, highlighting key accomplishments, achievements, or qualifications. For example, I have a background in marketing with 5 years of experience in digital advertising. The fifth one, that's purpose of introduction. What is the purpose of the introduction? Clearly state the purpose of your introduction, that is speaking about yourself. Whether it is for a job interview, networking, or a formal meeting. For example, I am here to discuss potential collaboration opportunities, for example, okay? So you say the reason, the purpose why you introduce yourself. The sixth point, closing. That is to conclude, to end. To conclude with a polite expression of gratitude, such as thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself, or I look forward to our conversation. Thank you for listening. Okay, these are, as you know, closing your conversation or your introduction. Informal self introduction, another aspect or another theme. Informal self introduction, that is, we talked earlier about formal, now informal. In informal settings such as social gatherings, parties, or casual meetings with friends, a more relaxed approach is appropriate. Here is how you can navigate informal self introduction. Casual greeting, sometimes we can say start with a friendly greeting such as hi, hello, or hey, followed by the person's first name if known. For example, hi Sarah. Okay. The second is first name basis. Okay, first name basis. So introduce yourself using your first name only without formal titles or last names. For instance, I am Jack, or my name is Grace. Okay. So this is for, just telling about your name, just the first name. In formal, if you remember, we talk about full name. Now, the third here, personal connection. Share a brief personal detail or common interest to establish a connection. For example, we can say, I heard you are into photography. I am passionate about it too. So look at this. Again, I heard you are into photography. I'm passionate about it too. So this is to indicate that is mention something about that you share in this information with or personal information with others in order to strengthen the connection between you and him or her. The fourth, light-hearted conversation. Light-hearted conversation. Engage in light-hearted conversation, asking questions or sharing interesting incidents to keep the interaction relaxed and enjoyable. And of course, closing here, the informal, conversation that introduction. Conclude with a friendly farewell or invitation to continue the conversation. For example, it was great meeting you. Let's have a cup of coffee sometime. You know. So now another aspect or theme, cultural considerations. It is necessary to be mindful of cultural norms and customs when introducing yourself in English, especially in diverse multicultural environments. Here are some key considerations. The first one here is handshakes. And we know handshakes is one type of greetings. Okay, in many Western cultures, a firm handshake is a commonly or common form of a greeting in both formal and informal settings. However, in some cultures, such as Japan, bowing is the preferred greeting gestures or gesture sometimes, So different cultures, we have different greetings or greeting types, let's say. Title and forms of address. Title of and forms of address, how to address people, that's it. Pay attention to the cultural norms regarding titles and forms of address. In some cultures, using titles like Mr., Mrs., or Doctor is customary, while in others, first name basis is preferred, even in formal settings. Now, personal space. Respect personal space boundaries, especially when greeting someone for the first time. Maintain a comfortable distance and avoid too many facial and or physical gestures. Yeah, this is sometimes for different from one culture to another. That is using gestures or facial expressions sometimes. Eye contact. Look at it, and this is here eye contact, by the way. Eye contact is very important in conversation, by the way. While maintaining eye contact is generally considered a sign of confidence and respect in Western cultures, in some cultures, prolonged eye contact may be perceived as, confrontational or, disrespectful, threatening sometimes. They consider it as a threatening. So be careful. Non-verbal hints. In addition to verbal communication, nonverbal hints play an important role in self introduction. Beginners should be mindful, should remember their body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice to convey confidence and sincerity. Here are some tips. Smile. We know smile is very important. A genuine smile communicates warmth and approachability, instantly putting others at ease and fostering a positive impression. Posture, the way the body. Maintain good posture to convey confidence and professionalism. Stand tall with shoulders relaxed and arms uncrossed. Of course, don't cross your arms. Eye contact again. Make eye contact while speaking and listening to demonstrate attentiveness and respect, and of course, interest. However, be mindful of cultural differences regarding appropriate eye contact duration. Yeah, the duration is important, the time of eye contact. Voice tone. Adjust your voice tone to convey enthusiasm and sincerity. Speak clearly and at a moderate pace, avoiding overly loud speech. Listen to the two following conversations between two people. Can find any difference among them? Good good evening, sir. How can I help you? Yes, I reserved a table for two in the name of Jackson. Oh, yes, Mr. Michael Jackson, this way, please. So, this is, or these examples are like, of course, and many others like, hey, where have you been? Hi, Tom, just too tied up with studies. Let's go get something to eat after you. So, these are some expressions, as you may have realized the first conversation is conducted between two adults that happen to be strangers. We think the conversation takes place in a restaurant where tables are reserved beforehand, of course. We think that the first speaker is the customer, whereas the second is an employee who happen to be very polite as well as professional. In the second conversation, it seems that both speakers are somewhat friends, probably of the same age category. It's evident from the tone and ease of the flow of the conversation that their relationship is not formal at all of both, as both of them are comfortable with each other. The second theme is here communication skills. Okay, communication skills. And of course, it's very important to know the communication skills while learning a language, talking or a foreign language. Talking about your job or career is useful in introductory conversations about yourself. It provides more information about who you are and it initiates an opportunity for further interactions with others. Details about your professional environment will make your listeners additionally interested in knowing more about you. We will, of course, delve into essential vocabulary, common phrases, practical tips, and sample conversations to assist beginners in navigating discussions about jobs and careers in English effectively. To begin with, establishing a solid foundation of vocabulary related to jobs and professionals or professions is fundamental for beginners. Here are some key terms to familiarize yourself with. Job titles, for example, engineer, teacher, doctor, lawyer, chef, nurse, accountant, nurse, mechanic, artist, musician, writer, all these jobs, programmer, manager, receptionist, secretary, chef, architect, marketer, psychologist, economist, all these, okay? Workplaces, the place where people work. Office, let's say a hospital, school, restaurant, law firm, factory, studio, clinic, garage, library, hotel, bank, construction site, theater, laboratory, and university. Work related actions like work, of course, job, career, interview, resume, application, promotion, salary, overtime, deadline, teamwork, project, meeting, training, networking, leadership, innovation, and negotiation. All these what we mean work place that's the or related actions, work related actions. Common phrases for job conversations. Mastering such common phrases is essential for engaging in meaningful conversations about jobs and careers. Here are some useful phrases to practice. And again, this is one of the main reasons, by the way, why people learn a second language, basically English language, of course, because it helps us a lot in jobs and careers. So this is why most of the examples are based on, such settings, that is to say. Introducing yourself, for example, like, hi, I am Jibril مثلا. I work as a doctor at, university. Or we can say, nice to meet you. I am a doctor, let's say, job title, and in field, let's say, in education, for example. Asking about someone's job, we can say, what do you do for a living? Okay, what do you do for a living? Could you tell me about your job, for example, or what's your profession? What's your job? So on. So these are to ask about someone's job or profession. For example, here we have these examples, of course. Hi, I am Hope. I work as a teacher at a school. Nice to meet you. I am Edward. I am a technician in a computer company. What do you teach, Hope? This is, of course, an example on conversation. So, what do you teach, Hope? I am a math teacher for first and second graders. That's interesting. Yes, that is. Could you please, Edward, explain what do you do actually do? Well, simply put, a technician is a person who repairs computers. Talking about career goals now, another example. Okay, talking about career goals, the objectives. I'd like to become, and you put a job title, for example, a teacher, a photographer, a programmer, a chef, okay, an accountant, whatever. So I'd like to become, for example, a doctor one day. My career goal is to work in, for example, in a university, in a hospital, in a company. I'm passionate about, مثلا, I'm passionate about teaching English, for example, okay, and hope to pursue it professionally. To pursue it professionally, that is to have more about it professionally. For example, here, okay, we have example here. I'd like to become a professor one day. My career goal is to work in university education. I am passionate about teaching and hope to pursue it professionally. This is the example. See now, this is how we can learn to expand our vocabulary with expressions generally used and expressed by students. The fourth point here, expressing interest. Interest that sounds fascinating. Let's say that sound fascinating. That sound great. That sounds wonderful. For example, okay, could you tell me more about it? I have always been curious about, and say about teaching, for example, or about lecturing, about the language. How did you get into, and you mentioned the job, how did you get into teaching? How did you get in your, let's say, lecturing? How do you get in your job? Okay, practical tips for effective communication. Now we have different points here. Active listening, of course. We need to listen more. Okay, pay close attention to what others are saying and ask follow-up questions to demonstrate your interest, as the example above. Practice pronunciation. Pronunciation is very important, by the way. Focus on pronouncing job titles and related vocabulary correctly to ensure clear communication. Yes, you need to learn how we pronounce these jobs or professions. Use simple language, yes, to avoid, of course, using complex sentences, especially when communicating with fellow beginners. Yes, use simple language. Be confident, of course. Confidence is very important. Even as a beginner, confidence in expressing yourself will make your conversations more engaging and enjoyable. For example, hi there, I'm John. What do you do for a living? Hi, John, I'm Sarah. I work as a nurse at the local hospital. How about you? Nice to meet you, Sarah. I am an engineer at a telecommunication company downtown. What made you choose nursing as a profession? Well, I have always had a passion for helping people, and nursing allows me to do just that every day. How about you? What led you to become an engineer? I have always been interested in how things work, especially machines and technology. So, engineering seemed like the perfect job for me. That's fascinating. It's always inspiring to meet people who are passionate about their work. Thank you, Sarah. As you may have noticed, engaging in conversation about jobs and professions in English as a beginner is not only a valuable language learning experience, but also an opportunity to connect with others and gain insights into various career paths. By familiarizing yourself with essential vocabulary, mastering common phrases, and implementing practical tips for effective communication, you can navigate job related conversations with confidence and enthusiasm. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to learn and grow. So embrace it with curiosity and openness. With dedication and practice, you will soon find yourself navigating the world of jobs and careers in English with ease. Of course, there are plenty of jobs and careers. Can you think of some? People all over the world work in many very different places like hospitals, schools, offices, factories, malls, restaurants, and the list keeps on going. Okay, consequently, there are many jobs that are out there. Let's learn about some of these jobs and what they do. For example, a teacher. Teachers help students learn new things. They teach subjects like math, science, and history, languages. Teachers work in schools and help children learn useful information. A doctor, another job. Doctors help people feel better when they are sick. I'm talking about physicians, of course. They work in hospitals and clinics. Doctors can also be called physicians, as I said earlier. They check patients, give medicines, and sometimes do surgeries. A nurse. Nurses help doctors take care of patients. They work in hospitals and clinics. Nurses give medicine, check blood pressure, and comfort people who are sick. A police officer. Police officers generally keep us safe. They wear uniforms and patrol streets. Police officers help catch bad people who break the law. They also help people in emergencies. Firefighter. A firefighter. Firefighters help when there is a fire. They wear special clothes and helmets. Firefighters use big trucks with hoses to put out fires. They also rescue people and pets from burning buildings. A chef. Chefs make delicious food. They work in restaurants and kitchens. Chefs cook different meals like pasta, pizza, salads, foods in general. Some chefs also bake cakes and cookies. A waiter or waitress. Waiters and waitresses serve food in restaurants. They take orders from customers and bring them their meals. Waiters and waitresses also make sure tables are clean and tidy. A builder. Builders make houses and buildings. They use tools like hammers and saws. Builders work with bricks, wood, and concrete to create strong structures. An artist. Artists create beautiful things. They paint pictures, make sculptures, and even design clothes. Artists use their imagination to express feelings and ideas through art. A mechanic. Mechanics fix cars and machines. They work in garages and repair shops. Mechanics check engines, change tires, and make sure vehicles run smoothly. A farmer. Farmers grow food on farms. They plant seeds, water crops, and harvest fruits and vegetables. Farmers take care of animals like cows, chickens, and goats too. A pilots fly airplanes and helicopters. They work in airports, and travel around the world. Pilots make sure passengers reach their destinations safely. A librarians work in libraries. They help people find books to read. Librarians organize books on shelves and sometimes read stories to children. An electricians fix electrical problems. They work in homes, offices, and factories. Electricians install wires, outlets, and lights to provide electricity. Writers create stories and books. They use words to tell exciting adventures and share knowledge. Writers work on computers or use pen and paper to write their ideas. Now, these are just a few examples of jobs and careers. Each job is important because it helps our community in different ways. Remember, no matter what job you have, it's important to work hard and do your best. Let's listen to the following conversation. Hello, Rebecca. It's really good to see you today. Hello, Sam. It's good to see you too. Where have you been hiding? I'm just too busy with my new job. Well, congratulations. But what do you do? I'm a broker. Broker? What does that mean? I basically arrange deals for selling and purchasing real estates. I see that sounds interesting. It sure is, especially at this time of the year when a lot of investors are looking for good deals. Well, all the best of luck, Rebecca. Thank you, Sam. In this conversation, the second speaker, Rebecca, is trying to explain what her job is to the first speaker, Sam. As you have realized, one's job may become a very important issue in his or her life to the extent of prioritizing it over socializing, for instance. Therefore, talking about jobs is indeed a frequent topic in conversations. Yeah. The third theme now in this lecture here, that is personal details. To talk about personal details. Initiating a conversation in English often involves discussing personal details such as one's location and origin. For beginners in English conversation, discussing information about where they are from and their current location can be an important step in establishing connections with others. We explore effective strategies and language techniques for beginners to confidently discuss their location and origin in English conversation. By practicing these skills, beginners can establish social interactions with speakers of English from diverse backgrounds. Begin by introducing yourself, place of origin within, or whether it is your hometown or city or country. Use simple language to convey this information clearly. For example, I am originally from Tokyo, Japan. I am originally from Jordan, for example, okay? Or I was born and raised. I was born and raised in Sydney, Australia. Mind you, conducting conversations about your location and origin as a beginner in English. Okay, conversation requires clarity, context, and personal connections. Since you talk about yourself, so in this case, your language must be simple, or should be simple, in fact. Opening statements to start that stay. Start by stating your current location in a clear manner. For example, I currently live in New York City, or I am in London now, or I am in Amman, for example. Providing context. So this is to start what your talk about your current place or location. Providing context. Offer additional information to give context to your location, such as the neighborhood, city, or region. For example, I live in the downtown area of Chicago, or I am from a small town in the countryside of France. Another also introducing your location. For example, hello, I am Ahmed from Jordan. Hello, Ahmed. I am Emmanuel from Italy. Oh, I have been to Rome, where in Italy. Where in Italy are you from? I am from Milan. I would like to visit Milan one day. This is how we, the conversation. Describing surroundings, okay, that is, the environment, the place you are in. Describe your surrounding briefly to illustrate an image for the listener. You can mention notable landmarks, attractions, or characteristics of the area. For example, I am near Central Park, which is beautiful green space in the heart of the city. Or my hometown is known for its beautiful ruins and historical castles. This is also important. Now, another also strategy, sharing personal connection. To share personal connection, like share personal connection or reason for being in your current location, if applicable. This could be related to work, education, family, or personal interests. For example, I moved to Los Angeles for work opportunities in the entertainment industry. Or I'm studying at a university in Jordan, for example, or in Toronto, in UK. Providing background. Also, you need to give information. Offer some background information about your origin, such as its cultural significance, historical landmarks, or notable attractions. This helps the listener understand more about your background and heritage. For instance, Tokyo is known for its skyscrapers and rich cultural heritage, or Sydney is famous for its iconic opera house and beautiful, beaches. Jordan is known for its historical places and beautiful landmarks. Okay, sharing personal experiences. Another also aspect. Share personal experiences or memories associated with your place of origins to add depth to the conversation. This could include childhood memories, family traditions, or significant events. For example, growing up in Istanbul, I loved exploring the city's many outstanding mosques. Or one of my fondest memories of Aqaba is spending summers at the beaches or at the beach with friends and family. Okay, expressing pride, let's say, express pride and affection for your place of origin to convey a positive impression to the listener. Highlight aspects that you love or appreciate about your hometown or country. For example, I'm proud to call Amman my hometown and cherish its unique blend of tradition and modernity. Or Jordan's natural beauty and cultural inclusion makes me proud to be Jordanian. Let's listen, of course, to the following conversation between two people. I heard you said you are Jordanian. Yes, that's correct. How about you? I'm from Romania, and this is my first visit to the Middle East. I hope you have a pleasant trip then. Thanks. That's kind of you. Where are you originally from? I originally come from Aqaba. Aqaba? Where is that located? It's located in the south of Jordan, overlooking the Red Sea. It seems interesting. It sure is. You can do lots of activities there, like swimming, diving, fishing, and many more. Then, after visiting Amman, my next destination is going to be Aqaba. As you have realized, the focus of this conversation is on the location of places and where they are located. Using cardinal directions as in north, south, east, and west are useful when talking about where a particular place lies or is. Now, the summary of the lecture, ملخص المحاضرة. The lecture, is on how to introduce yourself, provides participants with essential skills and strategies for crafting effective self introductions in various contexts. Key concepts covered include the purpose of introduction, communication skills, audience awareness, structuring introductions, confidence building, cultural sensitivity, first impressions, and feedback and improvement. Through interactive activities such as mock introductions, cultural sensitivity scenarios, confidence building exercises, group discussions, role playing, and reflective journaling, participants engage with the material, apply theoretical concepts in practice scenarios, and receive constructive feedback to enhance their introduction skills effectively. Overall, the lecture aims to empower participants to create positive first impressions, establish meaningful connections, and navigate diverse social and professional settings with confidence and professionalism. Thank you for today. Have a nice time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.